What's up guys, and welcome to Simple Review, the series where I, PepperHomie, briefly play a game, review it, and I keep it simple. Let's get into it. Dungeon Defenders Awakened is the third addition to the Dungeon Defenders series, and is a third-person tower defense with RPG elements. When you play this game, you have the option of playing 5 game modes, either solo or online with up to 4 players. These 5 game modes include Campaign, where you would progress the story, Survival mode, where you would try to last as long as possible, Challenge mode, where it's just your ability to fight off enemies without building anything, Mix mode, where the enemies that show up on the level are at random, and the last game mode is Pure Strategy, where you're only able to build in the game mode. Each of these game modes offer up to 10 to 15 levels for you to play, so there's definitely a bit of content for you to complete if you're looking to pick up this game. Now when it comes to gameplay, if you're not familiar with Dungeon Defenders, basically your goal is to defend a crystal from enemies that spawn during each wave of the level. You spend a currency to build defenses that attack or defend a certain area, and at the same time you can attack with your own abilities to attempt to kill all the enemies for each wave. When killing enemies, you receive currency to use when building, and you pretty much just rinse and repeat this concept until you beat the level. While you're defeating enemies and completing the level, a treasure chest may spawn or an enemy may drop a weapon or armor for you to put on your character. When changing armor, your character does not actually reflect what you put on him, but the weapon that you change does. This game does offer a selection of unlockable cosmetics for your character, and the option of choosing a cosmetic look of previous items that you got to put on your character. For example, if you find a very cool looking weapon, you can make any weapon look like that weapon. And this concept alone is the big difference from Dungeon Defenders 2 to this one. Currently, you're able to access all content without paying anything, and I'm pretty sure most people can agree that that's a very welcome change. And now from my experience when playing this game, it was definitely the Dungeon Defenders experience that you were expecting, but at the same time it fails to meet the expectations of a modern game. And what I mean by that is that this game is definitely a little buggy. I was unable to complete the tutorial because it didn't update with what I did in there. Sometimes the user interface that you're navigating won't show what you're actually selecting. And they also took the approach of trying to optimize this game by making the enemies that are farther away move at a slower frame rate than normal. And this is very noticeable when you're fighting just any amount of enemies. They all just have very blocky movements. But overall, it doesn't prevent you from doing anything in the game, it's just visually not appealing. Also, I'm unsure if it's a bug, but whenever you spawn into a new area, your character screams rather loudly, and this is even before you're actually seeing your character in game. This is present when it's on the loading screen, and this gets rather annoying really quickly. And with all that being said, I'd have to give this game 7 pepperonis out of 10. I really did want to like this game, but when compared to the past 2 main Dungeon Defender installments, this game just is severely unpolished. And I feel that most fans of the Dungeon Defender series will be very disappointed. This game is still having content developed for it, so maybe this is something you might want to check back into in a few months. But if you're a die-hard Dungeon Defenders fan, then sure, pick it up. There's a lot of content. So if you guys like the content, drop a sub, drop a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.